Data Analytics 0 to Hero, Video 7, Pandas series and DataFrames. Video 7 of the 30-part series, and the start of a multi-part Pandas block, series, DataFrames, and reading a real CSV file. We'll load the real MTCAR's dataset, 1974, motor trend car road tests, straight into Pandas. Let's jump straight in. Running the cell now. Before you start, open a new Jupyter notebook in VS Code and select your Python interpreter as the kernel. Install Pandas if you haven't already, with pip install pandas. Place mtcars.csv in the same folder as this notebook. Running the cell now. Once Pandas is installed and your kernel is selected, you're ready to go. This is the tool you'll use in nearly every video from here on, so subscribe if you haven't. Let's dive in. A Pandas series is a single labeled column of data, essentially a NumPy array with an index attached. It's the building block every data frame is made from. Part 1, the series. Running the cell now. The standard convention, import Pandas as PD. PD series wraps a plain list, giving it an automatic integer index down the left side. Printing it shows both the index and the values together, plus the data type at the bottom. Values pulls out just the underlying NumPy array, no index. Index shows the labels themselves, by default, a simple range. Running the cell now. This output shows a Pandas series with 5 numerical values, each automatically assigned a default integer index from 0 to 4. Notice the series prints both the index and the values, while .values returns only the data as a NumPy array, and .index reveals the range index object describing the index structure. This helps illustrate that a series pairs data with an index, which is fundamental for data alignment and selection in Pandas. Passing index equals with real car names gives each value a meaningful label instead of a plain number. Printing it now shows names down the left. Looking a value up by its label instead of its position. Running the cell now. Here, the output shows a Pandas series with car models as the index and their corresponding miles per gallon values as the data. Notice how each label uniquely identifies a value, making it easy to access specific entries like that Sun 710, which returns 22.8. This highlights how series combine data and labels, enabling intuitive data selection and organization. A data frame is a table, multiple series sharing the same index, one series per column. It's the object you'll use for almost everything in this series. Part 2, building a data frame. Running the cell now. A dictionary where each key becomes a column name, and each value is the list of data for that column. The model column. The miles per gallon column. The CYL column. Closing the dictionary. PD data frame converts the dictionary into a full table. Printing it displays a proper table, with a numeric index automatically added on the left. Running the cell now. Here, we created a data frame from a dictionary, where each key corresponds to a column and each list defines the rows. Notice how the data frame neatly organizes the car models, their miles per gallon, and the number of cylinders, CYL, into a table format, which makes the data easier to analyze and work with. This step highlights how dictionaries serve as a convenient way to build structured data frames in Pandas. Read_CSV is the function you'll use constantly. One line loads an entire real file into a data frame, no manual CSV module needed. Part 3, reading a real CSV file. Running the cell now. One line reads the real mtcars.csv file straight into a data frame. Head shows just the first 5 rows by default, a quick sanity check without flooding the screen. Running the cell now. Here, we've loaded the mtcars.csv file into a data frame and displayed the first 5 rows to get a glimpse of the data structure. Notice the mix of numerical columns like miles per gallon, CYL, and HP, alongside categorical data like model and M, which represent car attributes. This step confirms successful data import and helps us understand the key variables we'll analyze in later lessons. Tail shows the last rows, passing 3 shows just the final 3 cars. Shape reports rows and columns as a tuple, 32 real cars, 12 columns. Columns lists every column name. dtypes shows the data type pandas inferred for each column automatically. Running the cell now. This output shows the last 3 rows of the data frame from the CSV file, confirming we successfully loaded real vehicle data with 32 rows and 12 columns. Notice the variety of columns representing car attributes like horsepower, weight, and gear count, each with appropriate data types, integers, floats, or strings. This step verifies the structure and types of the data before we proceed with analysis. Info gives a compact summary, column count, non-null counts per column, and memory usage, all in one call. Running the cell now. Here, df.info summarizes the structure of our loaded CSV data, showing we have 32 rows and 12 columns with no missing values. Notice the mix of data types, mostly integers and floats, with one object column for the car model names, which is important for understanding how to manipulate and analyze this dataset. This step confirms we successfully read the file and sets us up to explore the data further. Describe compute summary statistics, count, mean, standard deviation, minute, max, and quartiles for every numeric column at once. This is one of the most useful single calls in all of Pandas. Running the cell now. This output summarizes the key statistics of each column in the CSV dataset, showing counts, means, standard deviations, and quartiles. Notice how all columns have 32 entries, confirming the data is complete, and observe the variation and range in variables like horsepower, HP, and weight, which hints at the dataset's diversity. This summary helps us quickly understand the shape and spread of our real data after loading it with Pandas. Square bracket select columns. A single column name returns a series, a list of names returns a smaller data frame. Part 4. Selecting columns. Running the cell now. One column name in square brackets pulls out that column. Its type is a series, the single column building block from part 1. Printing the first few real values. Running the cell now. Here, selecting a single column from the data frame returns a Pandas series, as shown by the output type. The printed values represent the first 5 entries of the miles per gallon column, highlighting how column selection isolates one variable for focused analysis. This reinforces that using df, column_name, extracts data in a simpler, one-dimensional structure. A list of column names, inside the square brackets, pulls out several columns at once. Its type is a full data frame, since there's more than one column. Printing just those 3 real columns. Running the cell now. This output confirms that selecting multiple columns returns a data frame, as shown by the type and the printed subset. Notice the 3 chosen columns, model, miles per gallon, and HP, which focus the data on car names and key performance metrics. This demonstrates how to narrow down your data to just the relevant columns for easier analysis. LOC selects by label, ILOC selects by integer position. Keeping the 2 straight is one of the most common early Pandas confusions. Part 5. Selecting rows with LOC and ILOC. Running the cell now. ILOC with a single integer gets that row by position. As a series, row 0 is the real Mazda RX-4. ILOC with a slice gets a range of rows by position. As a data frame, the first 3 real cars. Running the cell now. Here, ILOC 0 returns the first row as a series, showing all the column values for the Mazda RX-4 car, while ILOC 0:3 selects the first 3 rows as a data frame, preserving the table format. Notice how ILOC uses integer-based indexing to slice rows by position, which is useful when you want to access specific rows regardless of their labels. This demonstrates the power of ILOC for precise row selection in your datasets. Set_index swaps the default numeric index for the model column, so each row is now labeled by car name. LOC with that real label retrieves the full row for the Fiat 128. LOC with both a row label and a column name retrieves one specific real value directly. Running the cell now. Here, we use LOC to select all columns for the row where the index is Fiat 128, showing the full set of features for that car. Then, we narrow down to just the miles per gallon of value for Fiat 128, demonstrating how LOC can be used for both row and specific cell selection by label. This highlights the power of setting a meaningful index for intuitive and precise data access. The same Boolean masking idea from NumPy applies directly to a data frame. A condition inside square brackets keeps only the matching rows. Part 6, Boolean filtering. Running the cell now. df, miles per gallon, greater than 25 builds a true or false mask, one value per row, wrapping the data frame in square brackets with that mask keeps only the rows where it's true. Printing just the model and miles per gallon columns of the real cars that qualify. Running the cell now. Here, the code filters the data frame to show only cars with an miles per gallon, greater than 25, demonstrating Boolean filtering in practice. Notice the output includes only 6 rows where the miles per gallon of values meet that condition, alongside the model names to make the result more interpretable. This highlights how Boolean filtering can be used to quickly isolate subsets of data based on logical criteria. Combining two conditions with the ampersand, each wrapped in its own parentheses, filters on both at once, real 8-cylinder cars getting better than 15 miles per gallon. Printing the real cars that meet both conditions. Running the cell now. This output shows a filtered data frame where only cars with 8 cylinders and more than 15 miles per gallon are displayed, illustrating Boolean filtering with multiple conditions. Notice how both conditions combined narrow the dataset to 8 efficient V8 models, demonstrating how to extract specific subsets of data based on logical criteria. Assigning to a new column name creates it, sort_values reorders the whole table by any column. Part 7, Adding columns and sorting. Running the cell now. Assigning a computed value to a new column name, kml for kilometers per liter, adds it to the data frame. The multiplication runs on the whole miles per gallon column at once, vectorized. Printing the new column alongside the original real miles per gallon values. Running the cell now. Here, we see the new column kml added to the data frame, which converts miles per gallon to kilometers per liter by multiplying by 0.425. The output shows the first 5 rows with the original's model and in miles per gallon alongside kml, highlighting how the data has been enriched for further analysis or sorting. This demonstrates how to create meaningful new features and verify them immediately in your dataset. Sort_values reorders every row by the given column, ascending equals false puts the highest values first. Printing the 5 real most fuel-efficient cars in this dataset. Running the cell now. This output shows the top 5 car models sorted by their highest miles per gallon values, demonstrating how sorting can highlight key data points. Notice the descending order of miles per gallon, which helps quickly identify the most fuel-efficient models. This reinforces the lesson goal of adding columns and sorting to better analyze and organize data. We covered a lot, so let's recap. Wrap up what you learned. The series, a single labeled column, and the building block of every data frame. Building a data frame from a dictionary, and reading one directly from a real CSV file with read_CSV. Exploring a new data frame, a head, tail, shape, columns, dtypes, info, and describe. Selecting columns with square brackets and rows with LOC and iloc. Boolean filtering, including combining multiple conditions. Adding a new computed column and sorting with sort_values. This is the Pandas foundation everything else in this series builds on. Video 8 moves into real-world data cleaning, missing values, duplicates, and data types. Subscribe so it lands automatically. See you there. Running the cell now.